The Eater of Worlds is probably the worst boss in the game, has the most health of any pre-hard mode boss, 10,050 HP in classic mode or 15,120 HP in extra mode. This is the complete opposite of its Crimson counterpart, as the Brain has the least amount of health of any boss in the game. Each segment of the Eater has 150 health or 210 health depending on the mode, so it will have either 67 segments or 72 segments depending on the mode. There are 3 types of segments: head, body, and tail, and each has their own defense stat, with the head having 2 or 4, the body having 4 or 6, and the tail having 8 or 10. I was wondering if it's simply just big bone or fat, who knows. The head deals the most damage, dealing either 22 or 48 contact damage depending on the difficulty, and the body deals 13 or 20. No one is ever getting hit by the tail. There are 2 ways of summoning the boss: either breaking 3 shadow orbs within the chasms of the corruption, or using worm food to summon the boss. Worm food is a huge waste of time getting, and you might as well just spawn it in the chasm and bring it up to an arena. You should really only use it if you have no more shadow orbs in the area. The Eater of Worlds is probably the most mechanically simple boss in the game, including even King Slime, as it literally has the exact same AI as Worm. That being said, in extra mode it will have the ability to shoot Vile Spit, which deals a ludicrous amount of damage, but you can destroy it in a single hit. Just like the Corruptors in hard mode, the body can also shoot this, but the game will check if it is in the background wall or on the surface, and if it is not, it will not shoot. Only the head will. Upon killing a body segment, the one ahead of it will become a tail and the one behind it will become a head, splitting the boss. This can become rather annoying, as the player will have to deal with a lot more Vile Spit in extra mode, but do note that the individual Eater must be made of either a head and a tail, meaning that a segment of 2 will fully die once it is killed. Just like the most pre-hard mode bosses, you don't really need to kill the Eater of Worlds, though it does lock the player from getting the drum kit from the merchant. And I guess meteors too. You only really need to kill the body parts to get the Nightmare Pickaxe to then get the Molten Pickaxe, but you could just skip it entirely and get the Pickaxe Axe post-mex, but why would you? While the endgame sprite seems to allude to the fact that the Eater of Worlds is a worm, according to the Steam Workshop page artwork, the Eater of Worlds is actually more so like a centipede than a worm, which is a lot more gross in my opinion, but despite that, the game's bestiary describes it as a worm as well, so who knows what's true at that point. The Worm Scarf, the worm, or I guess Centipede's extra mode drop, is probably the most overrated accessory in the game, just behind the Ink Shield. Granting a simple 17% damage resistance, other than looking stylish, it's just not as good as the Brain of Confusion, the Brain of Cthulhu's expert mode drop. I will mention here and only here that the Eater of Worlds, along with the Brain of Cthulhu, Queen Bee, Plantera, and Moonlord, are the only bosses in the game to drop a non-Master Mode pet along with the Master Mode pet. Abyssal Worlds doesn't actually drop extra shadow scales upon defeat in Classic Mode, and since each body part has a 50% chance of dropping any scales, there is a 7.6 times 10 to the power of -17 or -19% chance of not getting a single scale from the entire fight. Make sure to subscribe for more Terraria facts, comment down below for some information I didn't mention about